Okay, so we've just passed what was the test centre, the driving test centre. So this is a very common route for coming out on a driving test. This would be your first approach route to St Mark's Roundabout, and it has one of 5 exits. So our intention on this run is to take the very first exit, which is a simple left-hand turn. The thing about this particular approach to St Mark's Roundabout is that it isn't traffic light controlled. A number of the other approaches are traffic light controlled. This one isn't, so we need to observe the traffic. Obviously traffic flow will be halted at times by the other sets of traffic lights, but we have to look for our own gap and make a decision ourselves. But in the first instance, we're moving the car forward, so I'm 3 mirror sweeping, particularly checking the left-hand mirror, and now I can put a left-hand signal on to tell people my intention is to turn left. And as you can see, the learner car ahead of us is indicating they're going to move to the right-hand lane on approach. So there's definitely room for 2 cars. So we'll just let them position. They're positioning very well, you see, making space for me. Now I need to constantly be checking my left-hand mirror here just to make sure no bicycle is trying to squeeze down past me. Plenty of room now. The L car has positioned very nicely to give me space, and so we're now all looking for our opportunity. Here's my gap opening after the white car. It's a simple left-hand turn, leaving it in first gear, so we've cleared the hazard, but now shifting up to second reasonably quickly, and now we can bring the speed in. It's 40 mph speed limit, dual carriageway, so get the car moving along. Okay, so we're now approaching St Mark's for our second pass. And so this time, instead of the first exit left, we're going to take the second exit left, as if we were heading towards the sort of finding our way into the city centre. So here we are on approach. A bit less traffic, but our approach will be the same. We're going to approach and position into the left-hand lane, but we won't signal left yet because that would be confusing, confusing people to think we were going to take the first exit when our intention is to take the second exit. So we're looking for our gap, and there it is. And we need to take this little first small lane here, and at this point we check our left mirror at the left signal and move our car across. As you can see, this is a city centre, so it's a 20 mph zone, city centre zone. So, and compounded by the fact that it's quite a tight bend anyway, so unlike when we were joining dual carriageway, we don't pick the speed up. So once again, we are approaching St Mark's Roundabout for the 3rd time, and on this 3rd occasion our intention is to take the 3rd exit, which is effectively a 12 o'clock exit straight across. So normal principles, roundabout principles and convention would be that we would expect to approach this in the left-hand lane. So it's a 12 o'clock exit, so left-hand lane approach unless specified otherwise. We're looking now onto the floor of the roundabout for any paint markings, and there are no markings indicating otherwise, so we are going to position ourselves to the left. And we will be looking to go into lane 1 where the white car is at the moment. So space to position ourselves there, compromising the my separation gap on that white car slightly because I want to clear. It is a very small lane here, so I just want to pull tuck the back of the car in, so I'm clearing the main lane. We don't want to be an obstruction there. If this lane had been completely full, We do have the option of using lane 2, which we'll look at in a moment. But what's very important, I'm just going to check my mirrors and my signal at this point. What's very important is if we had taken lane 2, we remain in lane 2 and exit into lane 2. So this is our 4th pass at St Mark's Roundabout. It's a 5 exit roundabout, and having done the first 3 exits, we're now going to turn and take the 4th exit. Now this exit goes up past St Mark's Church, and this exit is beyond the 12 o'clock position, so whenever you approach a roundabout, the approach road you're approaching from becomes 6 o'clock. There's a clock face reference, so we're approaching from 6 o'clock, and the other exits are orientated accordingly. So straight ahead is 12 o'clock, and we're coming in at 6. Now St Mark's, the turn for St Mark's is beyond 12 o'clock, so convention would be that we take a right-hand lane approach and we move to the centre disc. So that is what we will be planning to do. As we've come to a pause here, we are again frequently 3 mirror scanning. I am delaying my right hand signal though here on this occasion, because if you notice there is a junction immediately to the right. So if I were to be putting a right hand signal on now, that could confuse people into thinking that my intention was to turn into that junction rather than to make a right hand turn at the roundabout. So for that reason I am delaying my signal. Once again, this approach road is not traffic light controlled, but the others are. We've got a pedestrian just looking to cross through the middle there, so vulnerable road user. We've obviously got an agricultural vehicle there. That's no concern to us at this stage in our journey. Okay, now I'm level with that junction, I will put a right hand signal on as I then position my car to an extreme right, giving space to cars wanting to turn left. Don't want to inconvenience them. And then we're looking for our gap to open. And here you've just got to be patient, but it's looking like a gap. Take to the centre disc, and as you can see the lights are holding us, which is good because we can pause. And if you look at the floor now, you can see a hatched area, which is called a kicker, just to the curb. If you look to the curb of the centre disc, there is a small hatched area. And if I keep the driver's side of my car to that, that will naturally kick us out, throw us out into the correct lane we need for this exit. So checking the yellow box junction is clear, scanning all 3 mirrors. There's the kicker, and that throws us into this lane nicely. The lights are currently green, so I change my right signal to a left signal. But again, positioning wise, I drive almost straight towards those traffic lights before making the turn to avoid straight lining it and taking space from people who were using the right hand lane. So that's an important point on positioning there. With most of these, if you're exiting, you go almost straight ahead to begin with till you get somewhere near the curb line and then make your turn, just to avoid encroaching on somebody else's lane space. And for the purposes of the test, obviously if you encroach on somebody else's lane space, it's dangerous. So it would be viewed as a test failure, particularly if you've caused somebody else to change their direction or speed as a result of your action being incorrectly positioned in your lane. So 2 elements on the driving test. Firstly, you've got to identify which lane you need to be taking, and then secondly, you need to be ensuring your lane discipline, your positioning within that lane is good. So once again, we are approaching St Mark's Roundabout, and this is the 5th time we have approached St Mark's Roundabout. And having taken the previous 4 exits, we're now going to have a look at taking the 5th exit, which is to the London Road. So again, applying the clock face principles, the turn is very much beyond 12 o'clock. It's probably around somewhere at nearer 2 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock in fact. So it'll be a right hand lane approach, delaying the signal because of that junction, now putting the signal on and positioning very wide. My gap, surprisingly for St Mark's, has opened immediately for me, so I can take to the centre of the disc. Here's the kicker, throws me out, and it's exactly the same as for the fourth exit. So we're thrown out into this lane, but rather than cancelling and changing my signal at this point, which would imply that I was going to go up past St Mark's Church, I leave a right-hand signal on to avoid any confusion for anyone pulling out of the St Mark's junction that I'm going to turn into it. So I've got a right-hand signal on there, so that car isn't confused and it's going to hold for me. At this point I check my left-hand mirror, put my left-hand signal on, and then tell everybody where I'm going.